Hi guys, welcome to Academic English weeks 7 and 8. I've decided to continue to do video lectures for this term, but these video lectures will be shorter than I had done for the previous term since we will have live lessons, so the need for video lectures is a bit redundant, but you may not be able to make a live lecture 1 week, or you may want to watch the video lecture first before you have your live lecture. So I plan on doing these 2 weeks at a time. We'll do weeks 7 and 8 together, weeks 9 and 10 together, and weeks 11 and 12 together. So I just want to get started for week 7 and 8. I want to say welcome back. My students, you were supposed to have your lesson on Monday, but since it was Easter Monday, we're having it on Friday. And then we will have our next lesson for week 8 on Monday. So you will have a lesson on Friday, the weekend, and then Monday right away. And then we will stick to the Mondays for the rest of the term. Okay, so I just want to address a couple of things. Essay 1, you should receive your results by Friday, April 17th, and if not, then you'll be getting them soon after. And for my students personally, you will receive an email, not straight away. You'll first get the grades on Osiris, and then you'll receive an email with feedback from me, and then you can check that feedback and then send me the questions that you have based on the feedback that you've read. And then we can communicate that way so that you can learn and improve based on the feedback I gave you. I want to start by showing you guys on Blackboard a couple of important points. So on the main page of academic writing here, we have the announcements that Dave van Ginhoven has been making, and he really does a nice job at making sure that he gives you guys all the important information without drowning you in information. So make sure to check the announcements if you're not regularly seeing them in your email. They're there on the main page. And then the important section of Blackboard, most important, is the course manual video and useful links. Of course, the module guide here, course manual, that's the most important file or document for academic writing, and just based on that alone, you could actually self-study and complete this entire course without any teacher, without any peer review, without any live lessons or video lectures. You could do it all entirely from the module book, but that's just not ideal. Of course, it's better to have some communication, but make sure you really check each week, go through the whole week 7, week 8, all the way through week 12, and look at all the exercises. You don't necessarily have to do them all or submit them all, but you do want to make sure you look through and you're familiar in the topics that you're having trouble with. You should definitely do the exercises and then check at the end of the module guide to see whether you're on the right track or not. Okay, so that is the module guide. And then for this week, the first week, week 7, Mr. van Ginhoven, Dave, has posted a really nice video on logic and formal language, and that's the whole concept of week 7. So please make sure to review that material so that you can strengthen the logic that you use in order to make your arguments, as well as the formal language, because you will see in the rubrics, the grading rubric for the essays, both essay 1 and 2, you are graded on the style of your argumentation, or the effectiveness of your argumentation, as well as the accuracy of your writing and the structure and the formatting of your paper, and strengthening the logic that you use in your argumentation is extremely important. And then below that, he also shared my video that I posted last Saturday on my YouTube channel. I will post every Saturday just some kind of useful English type video as a study aid. Last Saturday, I had done the top 5 informal English mistakes that students make in their papers. This Saturday, when the video goes up, you should check it out. I will also be doing another type of academic writing paper submission errors, and I think that will be useful for you guys. Actually, last week's was based off of my English writing skills submissions that I had for their writing assignment that they had to do, and then this coming Saturday, Study Saturday video that I have is based off of you guys, my academic writing papers, what I found to be the most common mistakes. So make sure to check that out as well. Okay, and then the next important section of Blackboard that you'll want to check out is over here, live links for classes, and then once you click that, you go straight to your class. So my classes would be either 2C or 2G. And then it's just one session. You can join it whenever. It's not reoccurring sessions, so you can just open it right before class time. Just to make note for you guys, make sure that you have in your calendar, in your iPhone or your paper calendar agenda, whatever you use to keep track of your appointments. Mondays, 2G is Monday, 11:30 to 12, 2C, 12 to 12:30. And it might be if attendance is low, I may just do a 1-hour block open to both of you guys and combine you, but for now I would like to keep you separate so that in case a lot of students are really showing up, that I have the time to dedicate to 2C and then the time to dedicate to 2G. Okay, we're going to open up our module books now, so if you don't have it open already, you can pause the video, open it, and then play it again. We're going to start on page 60. Actually going to make myself smaller for you guys. All right, so on page 60, that's the introduction to this term, starting with week 7. And it has in 7A, you have all the important guidelines to start with your second essay. It's, again, an argumentative essay like the first one was. The idea is still going to be your own. It should be different from your first essay. It can be a topic you're writing about in another course, but it can't be a topic that it can't be the same paper. So let's say you have another course this semester and you're writing about a topic there. You can choose that topic, but it has to be original material. So you can't use the same paper for that class as you're using for this class. It is 1,200 words with a 10% margin, and it should be Europe related again, so it should be appropriate for a style of a Europe related blog. We did in the first couple of lessons, we looked at blogs in our lessons so that you could get an idea and a feel for the context of what the paper should be about. So your article or your essay should be written in clear, formal English. So the exercises from the module book, as well as our video content, will help you with argumentation and logic, as well as formal writing. You should have an appropriate title, an argumentative thesis, an appropriate APA style. It should have the right format. And then it should be based on adequate and balanced research. And I'm just going to throw in a little pet peeve of mine. Not many students do this, but please do not submit your FRS paper or on blogs. Do not submit papers in PDF for a couple of reasons. Sometimes it messes with the FRS scanner, not always, but sometimes, and that can make it more difficult to get an accurate reading. That's one thing. And the second thing is that for me, when I'm either doing digital feedback for you and writing the comments in there, I can't write in on a PDF format easily. There are ways, but they're very complicated. So please always submit in Word, because when I do digital feedback, that is easier. And also, if I decide to print and do handwritten feedback, then it creates a new window and it makes the whole printing process and the going through each student's paper also more difficult. So please, no PDF. Please. Okay, done with my rant now. So right here in 7A, you can see the basic outline of what you need to do for this second assignment. And we will discuss in our live lessons for week 7, we will discuss the ideas of what should be in the paper, what kind of topic is appropriate and what's not. And then in week 8, at least for my group in our live lessons, we will do a little bit of peer review based on the submission, and you will actually submit then some extra files in there, not just in class blogs, but also in our live lesson in Blackboard Collaborate, and we will go through with feedback there. Okay, so there's some general guidelines that you guys should read through. Now you want to make sure that you really get going right away on your suitable topic, finding a suitable topic. And then we have sections here on logic and reasoning. Again, I want to remind you to please watch the video that Dave van Ginhoven has posted. There are a lot of exercises here. You've learned about this in research methods as well in year 1. And I really want to point out this section 7D, writing in a formal style. Please, this is one of the main things that I noticed. I see that the writing in general was pretty decent in my groups, but often you guys make such wonderful use of signal phrases and integrating sources, but then sometimes you use such informal combinations, multi-word verbs like call up, call off, give in, catch on, and it just makes the whole academic level and style and feel of your article or essay come down a notch, and it makes it more informal. And this is not an opinion piece, it's an academic paper that you are submitting for a grade, so it needs to be formal. So please do make sure to read through this section to get a little bit more understanding of what we mean by formal English here. Okay, so we have some nice examples here of informal and formal. Okay, so I do highly advise for the students who don't cover this in their live lessons, I won't cover it here in the video, to do these exercises in week 7, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. The pink exercises I plan to go over with my students in our live lesson for week 7. And then exercise 7.3, you are more than welcome to post on blogs if you would like to get a little bit of feedback. I will do my best to give you timely feedback on any extra homework assignments that you submit. And then 7.4 is another nice exercise to look at. And we're really trying to make our writing more academic. So this week is really about understanding how to create a solid, sound, logical argument, and how to do it in formal academic writing. So that's the focus for week 7. Now, when you go and move into week 8, what you need to do, point 1, is complete any of those exercises that you did not do in the live lessons. And if you have questions, then you can contact your teacher about it. Point 2, you need to prepare your topic proposal for the second essay that you're writing. And then obviously we don't have class, so you can't bring it in, but please, at least for my students, for any other students from other groups, make sure to check with your teacher what they would like for you to do. But for my students, make sure to post your topic proposal in blogs before the start of our lesson. So that's for 2G at 11:30 on Monday, and for 2C at 12 on Monday. And then also for this coming week, next week, week 8, please make sure also when you come into the live lesson to share the file there, because we will be looking at the topic proposals and going over them and seeing if they're appropriate or not, so that you can move forward and continue with your essay progress memorandum after that. So what should you have in your proposal, your topic proposal? You should have your name, your class, your student number. When you guys write me emails, by the way, I do my very best to try to learn all of your names, but I can't remember everybody, or I may remember you and your name and your face, but I can't remember which class you're in. So it is always very handy to make sure that your class and generally your student number in any email or class blog post or any official submission that you have your name, your class, and your student number. Then you should include the general topic of your essay, kind of a blurb, at least a paragraph written, why are you selecting this, give some motivation, explanation of why this topic was chosen by you, why you're looking into it, what do you find interesting about it, and then also what kind of sources do you plan on using. It's extremely important that you try to give the sources and find good sources before you go any further, because you may find something interesting, but you can't find appropriate sources in order to support it. And if you can't find the appropriate sources, then you can't write a good paper. It's just not possible. So you really want to make sure you have at least 2 or 3 solid sources before you really start spending time on a topic. Okay, that's it for week 7. Moving on to week 8. You will then in class, I've highlighted this in pink for my students because we will discuss in class, we will do a proposal discussion. Please, if you're not in that class, check with your teacher what you will be doing, what is expected of you. In general, you can always follow the module guide, but some teachers may decide to do things a little bit differently, so check with your teacher. My students, we will be definitely doing exercise 8A on page 68 in our live lesson for week 8, so that's Monday the 20th of April. So you want to make sure that you submit in both class blogs, and then once you enter the live lesson, share in files your topic proposal, and depending how many students show up, we may go into breakout rooms. Otherwise, we will discuss as a class, where I may just pair you up, that you look at one person's, and then we will discuss and look at it as a group, and then we will get a good general idea and feel for what kinds of topics are appropriate, how do we narrow it down, just like we did for the last essay as well. So make sure to read through that, and then we go on further with formal styles. We have more exercises on how to use formal style of writing. many good practice exercises, and I will not, in week 8's lesson, I will not cover these exercises in the live lesson. We will use the live lesson time to go over the topic proposals, but in week 9, when you have to submit your EPM, your essay progress memorandum, we will not look at that at all. I will simply read your essay progress memorandum. You will have gotten feedback from me from the live lesson about if your topic seems okay or not, and then once I have the EPM, I'll look at it more closely and I'll give either approval or I'll deny it, and then if I deny it, I will give you the reasons why. So then in the live lesson for week 9, which is after the May vacation, then I will look at these types of exercises with you. So we will be doing formal, informal English, and writing exercises, content in the lesson. So go through all of that and make sure that you have looked at what is the essential preparation for lesson 9. So it says to complete any exercises not done in class. And again, if there's anything that you want to submit in blogs or discuss in a lesson, just let me know and I will make sure that it gets covered. And if we need more time, live lesson time, if it's not enough to have the sessions, the amount of time that we have, we can always add more. And if I have a group of students that really wants to cover a certain topic, I may do some kind of optional Teams lesson or just come on extra for an extra lesson on Blackboard Collaborate if it's needed. And then number 2, begin working on your essay by outlining your arguments, create a reasoning tree, a mind map, whatever works for you. And then you need to submit your essay progress memorandum with that. For me, it's enough to just have the EPM. I don't need to have every mind map, every reasoning tree, everything you make. If you have that content though, feel free to include it. That will help me understand your processing and your thinking, and I can give you better feedback if I have clear information from you. And that's it. The EPM is mandatory. You do need to do that. If you don't do it on time and I don't approve your topic, you run the risk of not getting feedback from me because it's not possible for me to I have set times within the course where I know I need to do this for this many students. So if I get then 5 to 10 students in an off week who didn't do all of the assignments leading up to what we need to do, asking for feedback, I can't guarantee that I will have time. I probably won't have time. So try to stick to the deadlines and do it in little chunks, and make sure you get early approval from me on your topic to ensure that you can get feedback from me. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. So I hope that you're all taking good care of yourselves. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, and I will see you in the live lessons. And that's it. All right, guys, take care. Bye. Back just to show you, I did forget something. I had a feeling I forgot something. I wanted to show you guys the academic rating grading criteria, which is at the back of your module guide on pages 114 through 116. So this is the criteria the matrix that you're being graded on. And then you can see here the rubric, which shows the learning outcomes on the left side, and you see the argumentative writing, the structured writing, accuracy, accurate writing, and the formatting APA style that I mentioned earlier in this video. And then you can see how many points you can get in each section and what is defined as a pass, excellent, almost a pass, or basically just a fail. And then you see here also knockout criteria. Please look very closely at that. The word count for this next essay, essay 2, is 1,200 words with a 10% margin. And if you're doing the resit for essay 1, it's a 10% margin on 700 words. So please be mindful of that and make sure to look carefully at this. Okay, now that's it for real. Bye.